guys, welcome back. I'm RJ and today we're hopping into a pair of Adidas Originals, the ZX 8000 in a dope collegiate green colorway. Actually, my first pair, so bear with me. We'll get through this one. I love them. Obviously the silhouette model has been around for a long time. Just 2020, for whatever reason, Adidas Originals decided to hop right back into this one and launch a slew of colorways. I missed out, unfortunately, on the OG Aqua colorway that came out last month, I think. But when I saw these, I was like, well, they're pretty dope. I don't have any all green shoes, and just quality, materials, style, just everything kind of works. And so out of the whole ZX lineup, this is definitely my favorite. Figured I would talk about them with you guys. So without further ado, let's hop right in. First and foremost, the blue Adidas Original box. No stranger to it, seen it, it's been around forever. It's what they've been using for the Originals lineup for a long time. You got the size tag right there, ZX 8000, size 10.5. We'll get into sizing in just a bit. You got the serrated 3-stripe logo all over the place on the box. Adidas Originals trefoil. It's classic. So in the case of these, this colorway, both left and right, exactly the same. We will go ahead and focus on the left for today, as per the usual. And where do I start? You have basically a full mesh and nubuck upper with a few accents and hits throughout. So we'll start on the toe box as we do usually, and you've got a full mesh little toe box area right here. Everything is very soft, everything feels very high quality, especially for the price, which we'll get into in a minute as well. So your full toe box is that mesh material, and then wrapping the entire box on the outer edges, coming up to the lacing system, wrapping the lacing system, running along the lateral all the way to the back panel of the shoe, and then coming into the medial portion of the shoe is all super plush nubuck. The mesh that's on top of the toe box also runs all the way on the side of the shoe laterally beneath the 3-stripe branding. Back panel of the shoe is mostly the nubuck, and then up top you've got a little hit of that mesh. Coming around to the medial portion of the shoe, you've got more mesh right around the ankle collar area, more 3-stripe branding, exactly the same as the lateral portion of the shoe, and then you've got all that mesh down below. Before we talk about the laces, you've got a pretty thick tongue, padded tongue, mesh on top of it, backing of the tongue, basically just super soft cotton, as well as the inner liner of the shoe is the same material as the back of the tongue and in a gray colorway. Tongue also features a bit of Adidas branding, says Adidas, has the Adidas Original trefoil logo right there. So essentially we've got an all green shoe, gray hits all throughout. One set of laces, obviously the same collegiate green colorway, nothing fancy on the aglets, just a typical cotton lace. You've also got this little bottom lace piece right here, it says Adidas Torsion. I always forget what that's called. Somebody always reminds me in the comments, and I don't know why, just for whatever reason, how my brain works, I can never remember the name of that little thing. So let me know what it is, and I'm just gonna beat it to death. Hopefully I remember on the next pair that features that. Before we bounce away from the lacing system, you've also got little hits of almost a plastic cage right here. A little small to call it a cage, but just a little accent piece, adds a little strength to the lacing system, and that's featured on both lateral and medial portions of the shoe as well. Everything is pretty much mirrored from left to right on the shoe. Heading to the back panel of the shoe, you've got almost a heel cut, but we'll call it a heel counter, wrapping the entire back panel of the shoe, plastic material, and then both sides almost have like windows, as you can see, and that reveals more of that mesh material below it. Almost looks like carbon fiber-esque, but definitely not the case. Insole is technically removable if you want to take it out, but it's kind of glued down, so it's not really worth pulling it out and having to deal with putting it back in. It does feature an old school little tag right there, has the Adidas branding, has a little area for the athlete to put their name on their shoe if they so please. Now heading down low, we have an EVA midsole with a ton of tooling and just a few rubber accent pieces, I guess. So this piece right here almost feels like rubber or plastic. Flip over to the medial side of the shoe, and then you've got a bigger accent piece back here. I'd say they're probably plastic over rubber, but nonetheless, you got a lot of tooling. You can see almost a tiny little Adidas 3-stripe right here, and then the same on the opposite side of the shoe as well. Just a classic 80s, early 90s silhouette. Flip over to the bottom of the shoe, and you have a full rubber outsole. You've got Adidas trefoil branding right beneath the forefoot. Torsion system reveals itself on the middle of the shoe. Obviously more Adidas branding reads torsion all the way across it. The torsion system has obviously evolved from where it was when these first came out all the way up to like the Boost lineup, but they're still using that same torsion system, and essentially it just adds a lot of stability to the shoe. And when you're running, torquing the shoe left and right, it's just gonna help the shoe from completely collapsing onto one side, hopefully save your ankles from popping out of place as well. As far as pricing goes, these come in at 120 bucks. And it's a shoe like this that makes me wonder why everything else that's dropping these days is so ridiculously expensive. For 120 bucks, we can get high quality materials, plush nubucks, and a ton of padding, accent pieces, tooling on the midsole. Why does a shoe these days that's obviously a lot more minimal have to cost so much more money? My guess is it's obviously the construction and manufacturing behind the newer shoes. Sometimes I just appreciate these a bit more. Obviously there's a lot of nostalgia and history in a shoe like this, but at the end of the day, it's just a lot cooler, I guess, for lack of better words. I just think there's so much more here, man, than a lot of the newer shoes that we're getting. Don't get me wrong, tech and comfort has far surpassed these silhouettes, but still, I think y'all get what I'm saying. So 120 bucks can get you a dope ass shoe like this. I'm just, I'm with it, you know, and I'm not stepping away from all the new stuff that comes out. I'm about it. I'm about both of them, but sometimes it's just cool to take a little trip down memory lane and pick up a classic runner like this. As far as comfort goes, they're up there, man. Super comfy. Put them on, like I said, a ton of padding around the ankle. Tongue has a ton of padding as well. Very comfy, very wearable. Something like 8 or so out of 10 if I had to give you a scale of how comfy they are. And as far as sizing goes, go true to size. My true is a 10.5, and they fit perfectly. No complaints at all. I lace them up pretty loose, no slipping, no issues. If I needed to, I could run even laced up this loose. So they fit really well. Hug your foot even if they're not laced up super tight. That pretty much breaks down the ZX 8000 from Adidas Originals. I will throw these on feet, give you guys a better look at them. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'll do my best to get back to you. If I could ask a little favor, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up on the video. Does a lot, helps the video gain a bit of traction. And if you're brand new to the channel, do me one more favor, hit that subscribe button, tap the little bell, get a notification anytime I drop a video on this channel. Guys, that's gonna do it for me. Until next time, I'm RJ.